attention, please. It's time for the final countdown. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
And we are live coming to you from our home studios. And this is Biz Talk with the Godfather of Networking. We're very excited because we're starting a new podcast and we're going to be talking about business ideas, business tips. We're going to be sharing some exciting networking news as well. And we're also going to be interviewing people within our community. So first and foremost, let me introduce myself. My name is Pablo, FabricioValle.com, the Godfather of Networking, and also co-founder of the Entrepreneurs Club. I'm very excited for today's topic because we have an exciting topic today. Today, we're going to be talking about a topic that is very dear to me. And the topic today is how to turn your networking clients into how to turn your networking clients into paying clients. That is correct. In other words, what we're talking about is your networking contacts. You know that we often go to networking events. We get out there and we go and collect hundreds and hundreds of business cards. And I'm going to show you some of the business cards that I've collected over a few months, right? We all go out to networking events, collect a few hundred business cards, but then what happens? We never follow up with anyone. They never become paying clients. And then at the end of the day, or at the end of the month, at the end of the year, you end up with a whole box of these business cards, and none of them have turned into your clients. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to briefly talk to you a little bit about the Entrepreneurs Club. This podcast of the Godfather of Networking is brought to you by the Entrepreneurs Club. Entrepreneurs Club is a community. We call it a elite community of entrepreneurs and business owners that are coming together worldwide. Now with online, with digital platforms, we're able to reach entrepreneurs throughout the United States and throughout the world. We're a community that we come together for what purpose? For the purpose of empowering one another, educating one another, sharing our knowledge, sharing our struggles, sharing our successes, and also connecting, making those powerful connections out there. And what I want to do is and here's one of our dear friends, Perla Varela, saying hello. Hi, Perla. Hope you're doing fantastic. Feel free to put your comments if you have any questions, any concerns, or any nice words that you want to share with us, or any tips that you want to share with us regarding this topic. Feel free to just share it with us. We will feature you on the screen. And this podcast is being broadcast live on Facebook. It's also being broadcast live on YouTube. And of course, we're also going to be saving this broadcast, and we're also going to be sharing it in our online platform, Entrepreneurs Club, and also in our YouTube channel. So stay tuned. We're going to get started, and we're going to share with you some exciting tips. So here we go. We have our good friend, Rich Rogers. Pablo is the man. No, you are the man, Mr. Rich Rogers. Thank you for participating. Thank you for connecting with us, and feel free to share some of your experience. We're going to be talking about networking and how we could turn your networking contacts into paying clients. So, Rich, appreciate your comment. Big shout out to you. And we're going to be continuing with our conversation. But first, let's go into the intro. And here we go. We're back with our topic of today. And the first thing we want to talk a little bit about, I just want to give you a little bit of background on who I am, what I've done for the past several years. And networking has been a passion of mine. I do not have any certification in networking. I guess life experiences, attending hundreds of networking events, has given me that knowledge and that certification, if you will. So I am an engineer by profession, civil engineer by profession. Been practicing my career for now 25 years. Yes, graduated back in 1997, and also I've been an entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur for the past 25 years, and I started my entrepreneurial journey when I met an accountant at my first real job. I said my first real engineering job, and he was in the direct marketing industry, and he introduced me to a business and introduced me to business-minded entrepreneurs. And from there on, I was passionate about being an entrepreneur. So, on a side note, one of the things that I always say is that a lot of people tell me, are entrepreneurs born or they're made, or they could become entrepreneurs? In my opinion, you could become an entrepreneur because I was not born an entrepreneur. All right. So you can become one. And that's how I started my entrepreneur's journey 25 years ago. And at the same time, one of the things that I learned is how to go out there and connect with people, how to meet people. Back then, 25 years ago, we did not have social media, we did not have LinkedIn, we did not have Facebook, we did not have any of these tools that we currently have today. So we used to rely on going to networking events, meeting people in person. So what I want to share with you is um, how is it that we could turn our networking contacts into paying clients? Number one, the first thing that I always share with people is you need to determine your objective. Like anything else, if you're an entrepreneur and you're beginning your business, you're running a business, you have to determine what it is you want to accomplish. What is your objective? Where is it that you want to head? And networking is not any different. You have to have a main objective. I'll give you an example. For example, you may want to go to networking events. You may want to network. Now, you don't even just have to go to networking events. You could network online virtually. But the main thing here is having your objective. What is it you want to accomplish? Like, let's say, for example, the two industries that I'm very familiar with is the real estate industry and then the financial industry, right? So let's say, for example, if you're in the financial industry and the reason or your objective to go to these networking events is one, it could be to obtain more clients, it could be to develop strategic partnerships, or it could just be to put your brand or your name out there. So there's three different unique objectives. So one of the things that I'm going to share with you is, let's say, for example, your main objective is to go out there and create strategic alliances. Strategic alliances create partnerships, create partners that will be working with you within your financial business, right? So that's an example. So one is determining that objective. Once you determine that objective, number two is determining or finding your target market. Now, let's say my objective is to go out and create those strategic alliances. Now, in order for me to create those strategic alliances, what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on a specific industry. Now, I'm not saying that this is the only way to do it. This is a way to focus, right? Focus and have a targeted market. Like, let's say, for example, I'm gonna create strategic alliances, but I want to create strategic alliances with real estate professionals. Okay, because financial industry, insurance industry goes hand in hand with real estate agents. Now, what is my main objective? What is the benefit, or what is the added value I'm going to provide these members? I mean, these strategic partners. So, for example, one thing could be that I'm creating strategic alliances with real estate professionals because I want to offer them. If, I'm giving you an example. If I was in the financial industry and I offer mortgage protection plans, that's an example. That's one specific product that I'm picking. So what my main objective is to go and connect with real estate professionals and let them know that I have a product that I could offer their clients, their new home buyers, which is a mortgage protection plan. So that's a very specific objective. That is a very specific solution or service or added value you want to provide to that strategic partner. Now, having said that, once you determine your market, the next step is where are you going to find where are you going to find those individuals, those real estate professionals? Which networking events are you going to be attending? And one of the things I always mention is that networking could be very, very inexpensive, but it could also be very expensive because it might not cost you much to attend a networking event, but you could waste a lot of time, and even money. Sometimes even money driving to an event, depending where you live, if you don't have that clear objective, right? Because sometimes there's hundreds of networking events that happen throughout the local area. Here, I'm in the Houston area, and there's hundreds of networking events. But if I didn't know that my objective is to create strategic partnerships with real estate professionals, then I would end up going to any networking event. But since I do have a clear objective and I know what my target market is, then I know that I could start selecting networking events that are going to cater to my objective and my target audience or target market in this case. So the next step would be, let's look for networking events that would have those professionals. In this case, there's real estate investment groups. There's a lot of real estate investment groups. There's groups online. There's groups in-person events that usually take place. There's networking events where real estate professionals get together. There's associations here in the local Houston area. We have NAREP. I believe it's the National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals. Anyone correct me if I'm wrong, if I said that incorrectly. But there's several events that you could go to. Now, the other thing is, don't just go to those networking events. Do your due diligence, do your homework. Now with social media, with Facebook, with whatever platform you utilize, you could go in there, you could go online, you could research these groups, see what they're doing, see what kind of events they're putting on a weekly basis. You know, there's some events that are in local establishments that people go out, have a drink, and then they talk about real estate. There's other groups that have networking events that are educational or oriented, where they're networking, but then they're sitting down, and then there's someone providing them some wealth of information on how to get into the real estate market. So there are various networking events, but choose the one that fits you. So that's number one. Now, number three is once you get to the networking events, this is very, very important, and I always stress this. When you get to a networking event, you need to become a servant leader. And what do I mean by this? And first, I'm going to explain to you this way. I'm going to explain to you in this fashion. And I learned this from the master of networking, which is Dr. Ian Meisner. He is the founder of BNI's Business Network International. It's one of the biggest international worldwide networking organizations. And the doctor said that, you know, there's a gap with networking events, and why there's a gap, and we need to determine what that gap is and find a way to bridge that gap. And this is what I'm referring to. A lot of people go to networking events with the idea, with the objective of selling an idea, selling a product, or selling a service, or selling a service, right? And think about when you have gone to a networking event. I mean, just think about it. When I first went to a networking event, of course, I was an entrepreneur. I created a business idea, and if I was going to go sell it. And what was the best way for me to go? It's going to a networking event and go and sell it. Now, many people are there to sell an idea, but very few people are there to buy a product or service or idea. So now there's a major gap there, because everybody's there to sell something, but nobody's there to buy anything. A lot of people would tell me, you know what, Pablo, that is the reason why networking doesn't work, because everybody wants to sell you on something, but nobody wants to buy anything. Nobody wants to buy anything. So why would we go to networking events? And here's the number three. When I say become a servant leader, know how you could bridge that gap, right? First, let's send a hello to a good friend, Armando Arroyo, a strategic partner of ours. Armando, hello to you. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for always being there and sharing our information. So going back to number three, being a servant leader, right? What I mean by this. And I remember the famous quote that one of our presidents, John F. Kennedy, said one time, and I'm going to probably paraphrase this. I'm not going to say it exactly, but I remember the quote that said, John F. Kennedy said, "Ask not what your country could do for you, but ask what you can do for your country." Right? Let me repeat that again. So John F. Kennedy said his famous quote, "Ask not what the country can do for you, but what you can do for your country." And this is what I mean by being a servant leader. Don't go to a networking event expecting to sell something. Don't go to a networking event with the objective of going out there, giving all your business cards and telling everybody how great your organization is, how great your business is, and trying to shove your business idea, your business product to someone. No, be of service. Be a servant leader. Don't be there to sell, but rather this is where it comes where you want to bridge the gap. Be a person of service. And this is what I mean. You go to a networking event, you connect with someone, and what you want to do is you want to listen. You want to listen and talk to that person and find out what that person needs. And as you talk to that person, as you listen to that person, you are going to know what that person is looking for. Because you know what? We're all human beings and we all want to talk about ourselves. We all want to tell them how great our business is. We all want to say everything about our products that we have and services. But you know what? The best conversations I've had at a networking event were the ones that I spoke the least because I listened. So now, being a servant leader, when you become a servant leader in these networking events, you're listening. You're listening to what the person needs. Let's say, for example, you want to create those strategic alliances for your financial business, and you're looking to partner up with real estate professionals. And of course, you know what you're going to offer them. You're going to offer them let's say, for example, a mortgage protection plan, right? So now you want to listen to what that person needs, what that person is looking for. Let's say I connect with an individual at that particular networking event, and that individual tells me, "Oh, I've been working with individuals with IT numbers, just to give you an example, and I'm looking for a mortgage company that would partner with us, that would help us um, with those clients." Okay, you make a mental note. Make a mental note of what that particular person mentioned, right? So now, how you become a servant leader, what you do is you make a note the following day, and well, now with everything is instant gratification, right? With a text or what have you. Before we used to wait one day and then we'll send them an email, but now I think text is fine, where immediately you connect with them via text. And then the way you become a servant leader is you say, "Hey, by the way, John, Mary, you last night or earlier today when we met, you had mentioned that you're looking to connect with someone in the mortgage industry that would help borrowers, people that with an ITIN number. I've come across an individual that I've known for a couple of years, and I'm going to refer you to him. Would it be okay for me to make that connection to you?" What are they going to say? Of course. So you make that connection. You become that servant leader. And the reason you become that servant leader is because, and the person that you're contacting, the first thing they're going to be expecting for you to do is, "Okay, here's such and such person I met. They're going to want to sell me something." Right? Because that's human nature. We meet somebody and we immediately say, "Oh, hey, I met you yesterday. I have the best financial industry. I'm in the best financial industry with the top organization, and I could offer you, right? And you just let out. But this time, you don't mention anything about that. In other words, you just make that connection. You be of service. Joanne Cardona, how you doing, man? Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for always liking our content. And you go in and you just give them that information. You provide them that information, and they're going to be shocked because not too many people do that. So that's how you start becoming a servant leader, right? Now, what happens is the next question is going to be, and a lot of people tell me whenever I talk about this subject, they're like, okay, so when is it that I mention to them how we could be of service? You know the right time. You know the right time. The main thing is here you want to nurture that relationship. You want to nurture that relationship. You want to continuously be of service to this individual. And then, once you provide that information, that person is going to reply back. And I'll reply back. If there's anything else that you may need, please let me know. And I would, if I have the resources, I'll be more than happy to help you. Right now, I usually wait about maybe 1 or 2 days, and then I reconnect with the individual. And then I said, you know what? Why don't we go out and have a cup of coffee? Let's go have a cup of coffee, and I could learn more about your business, how your business operates, and then see how we may be of service to you, or how we may be an added value to your team, or to your organization, or to your business, right? So that's different because at this point, saludos a Claudia Salinas, saludos. And at this point, I haven't even told them anything about what I'm doing. I haven't even told them anything about my services. But eventually, it's like going out on a second date, right? On a second date, you're going to talk a little bit more. That individual is going to share with you a little bit more about what they're doing. And you know what? That person at one point is going to ask, so tell me, what exactly do you do? And they're going to ask you. Sooner or later, they're going to ask you. And that's an opportunity for you to tell them. So once you connect with them, that's your opportunity to let them know you're looking to partner up with real estate professionals like yourself, where we'll provide your new clients, your new business, your new homeowners with mortgage protection insurance. And just mention one thing, because a lot of people say, well, you know what, we offer this, we offer that, we offer this, and they give them a whole list of 25, 50 different services, and then the individual just gets overwhelmed. So that is how you could turn your clients into your contacts into paying clients. Now, here's a given the real golden nuggets. Golden nuggets. I was thinking about Las Vegas, but that's our business partner, Eva Mancini Perez, also known as Yvette Perez. So shout out to our business partner, co-founder of the Entrepreneurs Club, along with her partner Juan Mancini. So yes, we're definitely sharing some information on how we could turn those clients, those not clients, how to turn those what do we call them? How to turn these business cards into paying clients, because that is very important. Now, great advice: always give to receive. Yes, absolutely, Perla. That is a very good advice. Always give to receive. And the other thing that I always say, sometimes just give. Don't worry about what you're going to receive. Eventually, it's going to come back to you tenfold. So this is how you turn these business cards into paying clients. And one time I remember sharing these tips with somebody, and somebody said and mentioned to me, they said, well, you know what, that's going to require a lot of work. Absolutely. Absolutely. Building relationships, making those connections with people takes some work. And you truly want to build those connections. You really want to build those relationships with people, because one thing that I've learned is that they've always said that, I don't know who said it. I'm just gonna paraphrase it. They always say that, all things being equal, people would always do business with people they like, trust, and know. People they know, like, and trust. All right. So there has to be that know factor. So when you know, there has to be that likability factor, and there has to be that trust factor. And in order to turn those business cards into paying clients, you have to build those relationships, and you truly have to build those relationships with a true, sincere objective. Because you know what? There you go. Rich Rogers dropping gems. From experience, brother. I've done the whole opposite of what I'm providing you with. The tips before, believe me, it was a game of how many business cards I could get at networking events. I would go to any networking event and then just make connections with anyone without having a clear objective, without having a target market, without knowing what was it I was going to connect with. So how is it that you could start networking? I've always come across people that said, okay, great. I want to know. I want to know how I could start networking. Now, the other thing is people tell me, well, I'm shy. I'm a shy person and I don't really like to talk to anyone. How can I get over that? Very simple. Very simple. You know, before you go to any networking event and before you sell anyone on anything, the first person you have to sell on what you're doing is yourself. Just look in the mirror, sell yourself on what you're doing. If what you're doing is truly bringing value to people, is changing people's lives, believe me, you're not going to be shy and you will go out there and share with everyone. I'm going to share with you how you could start networking. If you're in the local Houston area, we have our event coming up. August 31st is our elite networking and mastermind event. It's an educational event where we bring a local speaker. This time we're going to have Mr. Howard White, a certified business coach that's been in business for over 20 years, very successful business owner. He has his own brick and mortar company, plus he also has his consulting business as well, where he teaches people how to be successful. No offense to anybody, but I've seen coaches that are out there coaching people in business and they don't even have a business themselves. But Howard White has been an individual that is known by a lot of people and has been very successful in what he does and he's going to be our keynote speaker. So what we do is we meet in the Galleria area from starting at 6 o'clock all the way to 9 p.m. That's in the evening. And what we do is we come in, we bring in that keynote speaker to bring us knowledge, to bring us that information, those resources for us to take our business to the next level. And then what we do is we get together, then we network, we connect, and we make those connections with people. So I'm going to share with you a video from our last event, and then I'll put the information how you could go and participate with us.
The Entrepreneurs Club launch was a success. It was great. It was phenomenal. We were definitely motivated by some of our key speakers. And if you missed it, I hope you're there in the next event.
We are very excited about our Entrepreneurs Club launch. We're going to be building relationships. Why? Because we want to network. We want to connect your business. If you're an entrepreneur, you want to start a business, or you already have a business, come join us.
I'm very excited for our Entrepreneurs Club. It's a place where you get to meet new people and a place for our couples to come together.
The vision for our club is to have families come together where kids are in a classroom learning while their moms and dads are networking with other individuals to grow their business.
Who is it for? Individuals that are looking to pursue new business relationships, grow their business, or even start their business.
It has given me an opportunity for my husband and I to come closer.
In our club, we're going to empower you, we're going to educate you, and we're going to connect you and help you build lasting relationships that will turn into clients.
So come join us and we'll see you at our next event.
Come and join us. We look forward to seeing you at the next event.
And that was a recap of our last event. So come join us if you're in the local Houston area. Come network with us. Come make those connections and start turning your networking contacts into paying clients. Now, if you're not in the local Houston area and you are throughout the United States or throughout the world, starting September, we're going to have our virtual elite networking and mastermind event. We'll have the information for that. If you're interested in getting more information about that virtual event, send us a comment, connect with me, and we'll send you that information. So we've come to the end of our program, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you to the Entrepreneurs Club. Thank you to our business partners, my beautiful wife, Tanya Valle, Juan Mancini, and Yvette Perez, and also our strategic partner, Mr. Kaimar Salisi. So thank you guys. We'll see you next week for another show. And as always, stay blessed and continue being a blessing to others. We'll see you next time in our podcast.